Hiya, my name is Karolina. Welcome to Inner Light Yoga. In this video, I'll show you how to sit correctly for a meditation practice. I'll give you two options. You can either sit in Sukhasana, an easy pose with your legs crossed, or you can sit in a chair. If for some reason you don't feel comfortable getting down onto the floor, you have problem with your knees or with your hips, that will be a good option for you. So when you are starting your meditation practice, you may notice very often that you get distracted because of physical discomfort. So establishing a correct posture for meditation is really important. So let's begin with Sukhasana, easy pose, which is simply crossing your legs at the shins and sitting with your spine straight up. So here in Sukhasana, you want to have your knees either at the same level as your hips or a little bit lower. For me, that doesn't happen when I'm sitting flat on the floor, so I use a support of a block to elevate my hips. Now, if you don't have a yoga block, you can also use a book or a folded blanket. Okay, so here we will sit at the edge of the block, because we'll have a little bit more control over the pelvis. And it's important to cross your legs at the shins rather than at the ankles, because if you bring your feet very close toward your hips and if you cross them at the ankles, that's going to elevate your knees. So moving your feet away from the hips and then walking your feet out toward the knees, flexing them so that your ankle is at a comfortable angle. Now, you may notice sometimes that there is still tension in your hips, even when you get your knees to the same level as the hips. If that's the case, you can either use pillows to support your knees. You can fold them up as well if you need a little bit more support. So that will really take the pressure off your hips and off the knees as well. Or if you have yoga blocks, you can use also them to give your knees support. Okay, so just few important things in Sukhasana. As I mentioned before, getting your knees either at the same level as the hips or a little bit lower. Walking your feet out toward your knees. And then creating space in the upper body. So we are trying to lengthen in between the hips and armpits, between the navel and the sternum, and then through the back of the body. Your chin is in level with the floor, and you want to broaden the collarbones by gently drawing the shoulder blades together and down. Okay? The next option is sitting in a chair. It's best not to use the back support of the chair because that helps to engage your deep core muscles. You want to place your ankles directly underneath your knees and your toes are pointing straight forward. We will rest hands on top of the thighs, and as in Sukhasana pose, you want to create length and lightness in the upper body. So creating space between your hips and armpits, between navel and sternum, and through back of the body. Then gently drawing the shoulder blades together to broaden the collarbones. Chin is in level with the floor. So this is your second option. If you choose to go with the Sukhasana pose for your meditation practice, try to remember to switch the crossing of the legs with each practice, just to make sure that you are not repeating the same pattern over and over again, and that you are working evenly on both hips. Another useful tip is to refine your posture during meditation. So try to bring your awareness a few times back to your posture and just see if you didn't start rounding your back or maybe relaxing a little bit too much into that seated position, just to create that space and length in the upper body. I hope this tutorial will help you to establish a regular meditation practice and that you will be more comfortable staying in a seated position for longer. If you have any questions or if you need any clarification, you can leave a comment below the video. If you enjoyed this tutorial, please give me a thumb up and subscribe to Inner Light Yoga on YouTube or BeatTube. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you again.